this is a HORNGYU iPanel cloud management system. This is the end login page. So firstly, we can log in by the member username and password. After typing for both, you can press sign in. So in the interface that we can see, from the top side, we can have the language selection, and here you can select the language that you are belonging to. So we press English here. And for this one is the iPanel cloud management system, and here have many sheets. The first one is the information overview. We will have the device board and energy map. So when you press the device board, then you will log into this page. Okay. But in here, let us introduce about energy map first. From the energy map, you can see here display the all year information comparing to the last year. So the blue one is last year and orange one is this year. So you can see that how much consumption that you use comparing to the previous year. And the second one is the energy consumption statistic. So in here, you can have the power bill that we can see about the actual value of this month, how much power you consumed, and also how much you have to pay for here. And this is the kWh. And also in here, we can adjust depending on the electricity rate. For example, it is 5.4, and last year is 3.91. And also the last one is the EUI, so it will display about how much EUI you will consumed. And on the left down side, in here we have the area structure. So in here we have the B1 substation and also dormitory energy management. So in here, if you have many regions, you can select and you can see easily from this energy map that by viewing how much you have to pay for each month. And on the left downside, there's a statistic ranking. So you have different regions, and it will display about each region, how much power it consumed. And then you have the ranking sequence here. Secondly, we are going to introduce about the switchboard solution. Okay, so in here we have the overview, association diagram, and also setup and the health abnormal list. From the overview, we press this one, then we can select the B1 substation on the left icon. So in here, you can see that the overview for the switchgear information. So in here, we can see that the B1 substation and the temperature is 29.6 degrees, and also the temperature weather information displayed here. And on the right side, we can see that the switchgear health. So in here, we have the operation information. So in here, that it will calculate by collecting the power meter information, and then to use the algorithm calculated by our cloud system. Then it will show about the status about the health of your system. And about the safety information, it is 100%. And on the left down side, we can see that the substation energy consumption overview. So you have the MCB and you have the MP panel and CB1. So all the consumption kWh can be displayed here. So the value can be easily to take a view. Second, we have the association diagram. The same, we can select the B1 substation. And then it shows that all the system diagram here. Then you can see, for example, MCB, you have the CB1 and the MP380 for low voltage, and also the capacitor panel. So when you move your clickers on the icon, you will see that all the list inside from NCB and also the switches it pop out. So in here, if you have the remote control of the CB, then you can press this one and it will ask you, do you confirm this action? And press yes. So we can activate the remote control like here. So it will show stack on. So at this moment, if the switchgear switches is on the local side, then you press this, it will no use. So before you are using this, you have to make sure that all the switches must be in remote status, so that when you press on, and it will activate. The second one about CB, also the same. We have each power meter, so the voltage, and also the average current, and also power factor it shows here. And the same, the CB can do the remote control. So all the other stuff are the same situation, like you see here. And you can zoom in and zoom out. And by clicking your scroller, and then you can move up and down for the single line diagram. And next one, setup. So here, the setup, then you can select about the operation information, safety information, maintenance information. So normally that in here, we will help you to do the preset for each information. But if you want to edit, you can still do it by yourself. And the safety information, so if there's nothing that you set about alert or abnormal, and then you will not show. And the maintenance information. Yeah, so it is just a general check, and also shows you when will be the next inspection date, so that your engineer can easily to understand. And last one is the health abnormal list. So in here, you can also select, for example, like MCB and alert, type maybe operation diagnostic, and search. So if there's any abnormal information or alert happening, then it will show the chart in here. And then if you don't need it, then you can clear it. Okay, so this is the second part about the switchgear solution. In the next paragraph, we are going to introduce about the energy consumption statistics. The first one is the energy consumption trends. So we can click this one, and you can see that there's a graph here to show each day how much power you consumed by each kWh. And if you press the left side, it will show only the one that you select of the region, and the other region then not displayed. Okay. And the second one is that we will have the energy saving performance. If you press this one, it will show that each region by the bar chart from left to side to right part. So the same, if you press this one, you will disappear for the one that you select. So if you want to see only one part, then you can just hide the others and then select the other one, so it will be easily for you to compare. The next one, we can see there's demand information. And in here, the first one is the demand forecast. So by pressing the demand forecast on the left side, you can see about your region. And then we select the B1 NCD panel. So when you press this one, you can see in here, we have the contract capacity, which is the 350 kW. And also we have the target demand, meaning that you can set which one is your target one, that if it over this one, and then it will give you a trigger or alarming. And the fifth one is a prediction demand. So in here we can see that the gray one is the predicted demand, and the fifth one is the demand adjust, and next one is the current demand. So in here, this one is calculated by each 15 minutes, and you can press this, and then it will show about 30 minutes from 0 to 30. And also this is the block mode, and you can select the rolling mode as well. So this is the one that easily for you to see that if you will exist for your contract capacity or the current demand. So if this one already exists, almost exists your target demand, you can easily to know that it will easily to over your contract capacity. So in here you have to get a notification by our system. And also in here we can see the current operation is normal, and the current mode is for prediction is AR, and the accuracy can improve 2.3%. So it's all calculated by our system. And next one is the demand statistics. So in here we can select the B1 substation as well, and select the MCB panel and confirm. And then we can see, okay, from today 2020 September 9th, from 0 to 11, and then it will shows you that each 15 minutes as one bar. You can see here. So from 0 to 6, of course, nobody working, and then from the normal working hour, we will see that the electricity usage is almost approach our target line. So for this one, that you can check if this will over too much, and then you can use this to analyze if we have to lower down our contract capacity. So the highest demand also shows here that from 230 to 245, it uses the maximum electricity, and the maximum demand is 304 kW. So in here we can easily to get all the electricity usage within 15 minutes. And then you can use the first chart to understand if the current demand will over the target demand or not, to analyze if it will have to lower down each kind of component usage. Next part is regarding to the report information. So when pressing the report information, you will see the year demand, monthly demand, daily demand, power consumption, maximum power consumption, cost power consumption, and maximum demand occurs. Let's see from the yearly demand first. So by pressing yearly demand, you will see the select watt meet, and the same, we press B1 substation and jump to the MCB panel, press confirm, and this here we can select from January to September. So in here you will see that we will display about forward period, peak, semi-peak, and semi-peak on Saturday. All the figures will show how much energy consumption you already use, and what is the maximum demand for each kW. And for below, you can select the chart to display by full period or peak period or semi-peak on Saturday and of peak period. So each chart will show the graph, and then easy to let you understand how much power you use. And also on each month, we will mark the maximum usage of the maximum demand. So this is a yearly demand, and the next one is monthly. the same. You can press B1 substation and jump to NCB panel, press confirm, and from August to August 31st and search. So it will show about each month information. What's even better is that we can use export to generate an Excel file. So that's the information about the monthly report. And next one is the daily. The same, that the daily report, we will have the MCB meter and confirm search. So it will show the peak hours about our daily information. And then we will mark on the maximum points from our system. Okay, next one is the power consumption report. We can press here as a B1 substation, and we have the NCB panel, and press confirm and search. So this is the pie chart. Maybe we use the more long time to search. Okay, so for this part we have the NCB, and you can see about the total electricity kWh and as a 100%. And for the breaker 1, this is CB1. So the usage is increases comparing to the previous period. It is the 20,736, and the percentage accounts 75%. And the second one is about the breaker 2. This is the blue area, and this shows that we decrease about 583.6 kWh for the power period. And for others, it accounts 304, and the percentage 1.11. So in here, this is the CB1 distribution. This is the MP380. So inside MP380, we have many different breakers. So it will break down in detail, so that you can see that the overall amount, if it doesn't show any other words, meaning that it is almost the same as the previous demand. But if it is in red part, meaning that it will increase than previous period. The blue one is decrease. Okay. So this is the cost consumption. The consumption report. And then also next one will be the power consumption report. We can press NCB and press search. So in here, it is almost the same as previous one, and it will show about the maximum occur time and the power analysis, which is the highest demand and how much load it usage, and what is the average load of factor it is. And the result will show you that if the load is more efficient, ratio should be 80%, but now shows in red, meaning that you have the improvement space. So we have different breakers, and then it will show on the top. So you can easily to know that how much percent that it will consume. Next one is the cost of the power consumption report. You can press here to CB breaker. And shows. So in this paragraph, we will show about a bar chart from the red, and the red is the peak hour, the blue is the on Saturday, peak Saturday, and the green one is the off peak time. So here we can see that each different meter will have a different price range, but almost the same. And then it will show that in the peak hour, off peak hour, and the total percentage, how much it uses, and also the payment, how much you have to pay, and the average electricity cost is how much expense, and if you have the over or it below to the average. Okay. And last one is the maximum demand occur status. So we can again select the B1 substation, confirm, search. So it is 1 month, and here we can see that any incidents happening. If so, and then it will show about in red places. So you have the demand distribution ratio. For example, in here about 95 and 99, it happens like 33 times, 96 times, yeah, and 118 times. So in here you can see that any accident happening, if it have the demand occurs, yeah, and then you can see in here easily to know how much percentage have the incidents happening.